about to leave. Already packing, come with me. I'm not.
Hello friends and enemies, welcome back to Happy For Now. It's me, Isabel here. Boy, so February was a reading month that had, I think editing me will put a note down here if I'm wrong, but I think it might have been my biggest reading month to date. Are y'all ready? It's bananas over here. As you know, if you watched my vlog from a few weeks ago, and we had a big scare with Angus. We're 99% sure he had a stroke. He's recovered, but he's also over 10 and a half years old, so, you know, who knows? Who knows? So I had a very, very stressful month, right? And that means that I read 47 books, 10,517 pages. I averaged a 4-star rating. That is obviously buffered a lot by my manga, because a lot of the manga I read, I tend to rate 4 to 5 stars right now. Here and there we have a 3, 3.5, but I listened to 35 hours of audiobooks. I had 16 Kindle Unlimited books and 3 rereads, which were all the Immortals After Dark titles. And Haven. There's one other. So 1 book for Taboo Book Club. So on that, let's get into this. We're gonna start off with my books. I will put timestamps down below for everything. There will also be a link in that description box for my mid-month wrap-up, where you can get details on all the books that I read early in the month. I'm not going to go into full detail on them. I'm just going to tell you the title and what I rated it. If you want that detail, you're going to have to go back, and I will put them at the front of the list for each star rating. And then at the end, we'll do all my mangas. Same thing, timestamps, delightfulness, jump around as you please. Let's get right into it, because it's a lot. So I didn't have any physical books that I DNF'd this month. We will have a DNF in the manga section. No 1-star reads. I had one 2.5-star read, which is From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I talked about this in my mid-month. I talked about it in a vlog. You can get all the details there. It just was not for me. Then we go right into my 3 stars, which are Whiskey and Honey by Heather Lauren. This is a debut in Kindle Unlimited. I talked about it in my mid-month. I think it's cute, but not the best. Then we have Barbarian's Treasure by Ruby Dixon. Another 3.5-star read. You know, it's more Ruby. I love her books. They're very comforting. And then the new 3-star read, which I also gave 3.5 to, is Alana, The First Adventure. So I have no nostalgia for this classic by Tamora Pierce. I know a lot of people do, and I know that y'all like grew up on it. And I think I had a friend in middle school give me this book, and like pink with her by a horse. Like, I think I found the cover. I'll put up the current covers, but I think I found it when I was looking through previous covers for this book. And I thought it was a really fun adventure about Alana, who wants to be a knight, and she pretends to be a boy to do that. And at the end, she saves the day, of course, and is outed as a girl. And we're gonna follow her adventure. I'm doing the read along with Bethany from Beautifully Bookish Bethany and Ashley over at Bookish Realm for these. And hopefully next month I actually finish the other book before the live show, so I can join them and chat about it. I just think it was really cute. I wouldn't not recommend it to anyone. I think it's very fun, middle grade fantasy. It reads like it's from the 80s in my opinion, but it still has a classic timeless feel. So if you haven't picked it up, maybe check it out. I had fun. I had a lot of fun with it. Now our 4 stars. All right, we have Go Deep by Rilsey Adams. Deeper by Rilsey Adams, which I gave like a 3.5, but I'm just kind of grouping them together because I don't know. Deeper is so small that I can't, it's hard to rate even. The Lives of Saints by Leigh Bardugo. Tamed by the Highlander by Madison Faye. Lenora by Chinika C. Higgins. Fortuna Sworn by KJ Sutton. On that, I also read Restless Slumber by KJ Sutton and loved it. I think it was a great continuation of that series. I cannot wait to read Deadly Slumber this month in March. I just really think this is a great continuation into fantasy romance. If you're looking for something that's like a lot, like it's a lot. A lot happens in book 1 and 2. I can't talk about book 2 in any capacity because I feel like I'm just gonna spoil it. But I really, really love the nightmare situation, the like that type of not monster being, creature. She's not really a creature. I mean, she's a humanoid, but you get what I'm saying. Like, I love that. I love the fairy courts. I mean, can never get enough fairy courts. I love the like the way it's unfolding. And I'm very curious and I'm very stressed out about it at the same time. So the fact that I haven't read the third book is honestly disappointing with myself, but again, 47 books this month. A lot of manga because I could not focus. Then I also read His Beauty by Jack Harbin. This is also on Kindle Unlimited. And I really, really liked this. I thought this was a really great Beauty and the Beast retelling. He stays the beast at the end, which is all I ever want. All I ever want. Give me the monsters, okay? Like, I love it. It was really good. I thought it was well detailed. It was smutty. It was a fun time. What more could you ask for? Then I also read All Things Burn by Jodie Slaughter, which I gave a 4-star to. I think it dragged just a smidge, like in that little last chunk of the book, you know, like that last like 65 to 75%, and then it was great. This is about a woman who hires a hitman to kill her ex, kind of, like they kind of barely dated, and he won't leave her alone and stop stalking her and threatening her and her family, so she decides to hire a hitman. Comes in our hitman, they fall in love. It's super steamy. I'm sorry if it's noisy, y'all, it's trash day, but I gotta get this video filmed for tomorrow. Yeah, so they like fall in love. It's pretty spicy. I think I have one more Jodie Slaughter book to read. Now I've read all of her books out to date, and I just, honestly, if you haven't read Jodie Slaughter yet, y'all need to get on it, because not only is White Whiskey Bargain one of my favorites, this one was also equally as good. It was everything I wanted. It's very gritty. Some content warnings for this one for sure, around like domestic abuse and violence, murder, you know, the usual suspects, but it was so good. So good. Then I reread Haven by Rebecca Weatherspoon for the Taboo Book Club. I was over on Tamika's channel, Library of Tomes, for the Taboo Book Club this month, and I got to pick the book, kind of, so I picked Haven because this is one of my favorite BDSM books. I love the Beards and Bondage series. They made me fall back in love with the BDSM genre of romance. Personally, I think this is a great entry point. This really gives you a solid understanding of dynamics when in a DS relationship. It's maybe not as taboo as you think, but I think it addresses the taboos that society has towards BDSM, and I think that it just does a magnificent job with communication. There are some miscommunication, of course, between the couple, but not in scenes or when they're doing anything. It's other times. And honestly, I wanted my own Shep. What can I say? I want my own shepherd. He was great. Give me a 6'6" mountain man any day of the week. And then the last thing I read in the 4-star category is Dark Desires After Dusk. This is book 5 in the Immortals After Dark series. Doing this read along with Charles, and a bunch of our friends on BookTube have joined us, and every month we have a live show. The live show for these 3 books is March 5th at 9 p.m. Eastern on my channel, so be sure to come join us, because we will be talking about I'll have 2 in this wrap up. The next one's will be in my mid-month for March. But Dark Desires After Dusk is Holly and Conrad's book. No, not Holly and Conrad. Holly and Cade's book. This follows one of the 2 demon brothers who I adore. I've talked about it in my vlogs. Like, give me a demon man. Look. I need a demon mountain man who's honestly 6'6" is probably too tall for my height. Let's be honest. I'm a little shorty. That's not gonna work very well, but I don't care. I just, you know, they have like horns. Like, I imagine like they like come here and like wrap around their head. But this one is a road trip romance with a heroine who has OCD and is finding out her true origins, which is really exciting and fun, of course. And we really get to start seeing the demon world side of things, since we've only really been exposed to the vampires and to the werewolves so far before this. And yeah, I loved it. It was great. I think it suffers a little because the book before is, you'll see, in my 6-star category. Then we have my 1 5-star read of the month, A Court of Silver Flames. I hear you. I hear the complaints. I hear the criticisms. This is a very character-driven book. I could do a standalone review if anybody wants that. Just let me know in the comments. I was gonna vlog it, but I kind of just literally tore through this book in a day because I could not stop. Literally could not stop. So I loved A Court of Silver Flames. I think that Sarah J Maas continues to do great things. I think she really embraced being in the adult category for this one. This is not the smuttiest book I've ever read. I know for some of y'all it is, and that's okay. Like there's nothing wrong with that. But I've definitely read smuttier. But it was nice that we got a lot more well done smut in this situation than we got in the previous books, I think. This though, unlike the other books, didn't have a lot of plot to it. It was character driven. We were following Nesta and her character growth and what she was headed towards, not some overarching like big bad. So if you don't like that, you may not like this book. I think it was really cool to have such a prickly, angry heroine. I personally have a soft spot for them. I like a prickly, angry heroine who doesn't want to fucking deal with people or deal with this shit anymore. And I think that alone is like magnificent. But I totally see like criticisms about some of that. I think the PTSD in this is really interesting, and like we actually kind of start dealing with some of the trauma that happened in those first 3 books of the series, which was really interesting. Content warnings on this, I put them on Goodreads. I'm not gonna say them here. If you need them, please feel free to reach out to me as well. I'm happy to give them to you. The only reason I'm not gonna say them is because I know not everyone's finished the book, but if you do have any fertility related content warning needs, please, 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 please check them out. And then my first 6-star of the year. So I implemented the 6-star system this year, like Bethany has from Beautifully Bookish Bethany. And I immediately knew when I finished Dark Needs at Night's Edge, right? Right? Did I get it right? Y'all, these titles, let me triple check myself. Yes, so I immediately knew upon finishing Conrad and Noemi's book that they are a favorite. This is one of my favorite Immortals After Dark books. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. You have bad taste. I kid, you don't have bad taste. But this one for me just really hit me hard. I love Noemi. She's a famous ballerina. She is a ghost in this book. So we have a ghost romance, which fan-freaking-tastic. And Conrad is a vampire who's trying to heal himself from some bad stuff. His brothers are trying their best to save him. It's the plan is to basically tie him up in this beautiful home in New Orleans and prevent him from harming others before the madness consumes him. And he can see Noemi, and she and him just have this connection, and it's beautiful, it's glorious. I love this book. I love this book so much. These 2 characters are so amazing. And honestly, if you haven't read Immortals After Dark, I feel like you could kind of start here if you wanted. You might be a little lost, but it may be a good starting point if you didn't like the first book. Because it's definitely like, he's still very alpha, don't get me wrong, but it's so good, y'all. It's so good. So yeah, this was a 6-star for me, and I just truly, I love it. Forever in my heart. Conrad and Noemi are a favorite. Like there's no way around it. That's just the case. So yeah, that was all of my book reading. I did read about 17 books this month, so I'm very happy with myself. Honestly, again, I had really bad focus issues with the Angus situation, so I was picking up a ton of manga. And let's get right into that manga. So thanks for hanging out if you don't care, but let's talk about all the manga I read this month. Oh my gosh. So first up, we have my DNF of the month, which was Sachi's Monstrous Appetite. I DNF'd this volume. I got an arc of it through NetGalley and from the publisher. I just couldn't follow the story, to be honest with you. I found it really confusing, and I wasn't that interested in it. I thought I would be. I thought it sounded up my alley, but once I started reading about 25 pages in, I was like, this isn't for me. So I just DNF'd it instead of having a 2-star review. Next, we have my 3.5-star manga, which is a new series called Boss Wife. This is a josei manga, which means it's for older women, like the target age demographic is older women. This I really, really liked. This is a first volume, so it's really hard to have a full opinion on the series yet, But I really enjoyed the setup for this. So she owes a bunch of debt to like Yakuza guys, and her childhood crush from high school shows up, and he happens to be a Yakuza boss or in that like world, and he buys her debt, and she just has to marry him so he can like inherit his place in the ladder. It's a very like mobster, obviously mafia situation. It gave me a lot of the beats of a mafia book that I've read, you know, for romance genre, and I enjoyed it. It was really, really fun. First volume. I've subscribed to the series. I'm excited to see where else it goes. This is a digital only title, so you're not going to find it in stores. If you go looking for it right now, it is first to digital, so you can get it on Amazon, Comixology, etc. and read it that way, but you're not gonna be able to pick up a physical copy. I'm excited. I love this cover. I think it's stunning. I think it's absolutely stunning. All right, now we have my 4 stars, which is the predominant portion of my manga reading this month. I just, for some reason, most mangas I read land in this category. I do have one that's like a 3, but I just kind of grouped them together because I read a bunch from the series. So first, I read Primitive Boyfriend. Okay, so first I read Primitive Boyfriend, which the series as a whole is 3 books completed 3 books. So volume 1, we kind of meet our character, Kagome. She's looking for romance. She thinks all the boys by her are the same and boring and not it. So she gets sent back through time by the goddess Spica and meets different men who continue, where's volume 2? Who continue to be reincarnated. And then we end up in volume 3, her meeting him in modern day. And it's very, very cute, y'all. I really, really liked it. This is a solid 4-star series, a great starting point, which be sure you're here next Monday because I've got a list for you on Monday. But yeah, these were really fun. I really, really enjoyed the setup, and I loved just like kind of reading something in 3 volumes and being done with it. It gave me very Transcendence kind of vibes, except for like she keeps traveling through different eras of time. Then we have 3 different series I read / started by the same mangaka, which I'll start with the arc, which was Those Not So Sweet Boys. This is volume 1 in a reverse harem situation, it looks like. Still hate that term, but I don't know what else to call it. And I mean, because it's not really polyamorous, multiple love interests, love triangle kind of almost. Anyways, These Not So Sweet Boys follows these boys who are always into trouble at school, and she has to get them in line and get them to come take their tests so she doesn't get in trouble for having this after school job. It was very cute. After I read that, my friend Shay over at Shay Geeks Out recommended, and someone else, Dylan, I think Dylan, also recommended I check out The Wolf Boy Is Mine and Love and Focus, which I did. Both of these are on Kindle Unlimited. So Love and Focus is 3 complete volumes, and this follows a girl and her childhood friend and her love of photography, and she goes off to school and stays at this like boarding house with him and this other boy who she like kind of has a crush on but isn't sure, and her childhood friend has a crush on her, and it's kind of about her figuring out who she likes and who she wants to be with. It was very, very cute. I loved the camera focus of it. It was so fun. It had very grumpy male characters, and I love a grumpy male character in my romances, so this was super adorable. These all 3 are shoujo, by the way. I'll put little tags down here so y'all know what genre they're in. And then The Wolf Boy Is Mine kind of has Fruits Baskets vibes sort of situation happening, and I really, really liked it as well. This one follows a girl who comes to a new school, and it turns out that there's this group of boys who are shapeshifters. Like, they're also animals, so like one's a fox, one's a tanuki, one's a cat. It's very, very cute, and her and the wolf boy kind of have a connection, and the other guys are trying to keep them apart. And there's definitely some like intrigue and drama, but it's not too much, and it's 4 volumes, so it's very, very quick. All 3 of these I really, really like, and I'm definitely picking up any of them physically when I see them in person. And then I started my Yuri adventure, which I'm trying to read more Yuri manga because I personally really, really love sapphic love stories, and I love those things as a queer woman. Like, it's just one of my favorite things ever. And I read A Tropical Fish Yearns for Snow volume 1, and I'm hoping to finish that series in March, or get caught up on it, not finish it. So far, I'm really, really liking it. It's about a girl who goes to a new school. She joins the aquarium club, and they take care of different sea animals and have like an open aquarium day once a month. And it's just very, very cute. Like, we're very early in their relationship, so there's not a lot to be said about it yet, but I'm really, really liking it. Then I read volume 3 of Oharu Ride, and again, we continue the story of this childhood friends who changed their identity, kind of, he did, and she's trying to figure out what's going on with him, why he's so different now, and what changed. And I'm really, really liking it. I'm hoping, I think I just got volumes 4, 5, and 6 from the library, and I'm hoping I'll be able to like kind of snag them all and just read through them moderately fast and finish up that series in March as well. Oh, okay, and then Komi Can't Communicate. So I read volumes 4, 5, 6, and 7 of Komi Can't Communicate. So volumes 4, 5, and 6 were all 4 stars. I really, really enjoyed them. I felt like we had good story progression. We had progression for the romance. It was really, really fun. This is about Komi, who literally can't communicate, like she shakes and can't respond to people when they ask her questions. So this is about her making 100 friends, and people like think she's snotty kind of and like just doesn't talk to people, but it's actually about how anxious she is. So I am really, really liking this story. I'm probably gonna space out the next like 5 volumes that are out so far to read, because I do think they're getting a little bit repetitive, if that makes sense. There's something happening that makes them feel a little more repetitive to me, and I'm not sure what that thing is. I'm concerned I'm gonna be like burnt out on the series by the time I get to 11. But volume 7 I thought was a 3-star read. I did not like it. It was just weird little snippets of life. They felt like bonus chapters to me. They did not feel like a cohesive story really, and it just felt like filler at the end of the day. So yeah. My next 4-star was Haru's Curse. I actually picked this up physically when I saw it at Barnes & Noble the other day because I really, really enjoyed it. This is a taboo romance kind of situation happening. It deals heavily in grief, content warnings for suicide, suicidal thoughts. I talked about it in my mid-month, but I'll talk about it again here. So Haru is Natsumi's sister, and Togo is her sister's arranged marriage fiance. Haru unfortunately dies, and Togu and Natsumi decide to start dating, and it's just it's interesting. It's really good. It's kind of really about 2 people finding themselves and who they want to be outside of the expectations of their family, and dealing with the loss of someone they both cared about, but maybe he wasn't really in love with her. I feel like it was just kind of like, this is what I have to do situation, if that makes sense. It's a completed series in 2 volumes, so it is definitely a not terrible one to check out if you're curious about it. Then I read volumes 1 and 2 of How Do We Relationship, another Yuri title. This is considered shonen, but it does have like them doing it, so take that as you will. This is really cute. This is about 2 girls in college who start dating, and it's just very cute. They're like trying to figure out how to be together. How do they have a relationship? What does that mean? And it's been very, very cute. Very cute. Volume 3 doesn't come out until like June, and I'm a little sad about it. Just a little sad about it. And then last but not least, we have My Boyfriend in Orange, which is also on Kindle Unlimited. I read volumes 1 through 5 of this last month. This follows a girl who's 16 and has a crush on a firefighter. Now, when I started the series, I didn't realize she was 16, and by the time I found out, I was already in. Too deep to quit. So I was like, whatever, we're just gonna, in my mind, I have rewritten her age. So she's in love with this firefighter. He like, it's very cute. And yeah, nothing's happened like inappropriate anyways with it either, but yeah, she like goes to the station, hangs out with them, sees them, goes to like their competition. Like, it's very like on the edge of like flirtiness, if that makes sense. Like, it's not dirty at all. It's very, very sweet, and it's very cute, and I'm really enjoying how the story is unfolding overall, so I'm gonna continue reading it, but I think only through like volume 8 is in Kindle Unlimited. So when that's done, I don't know what I'm gonna do, because I don't think I'm gonna buy it. This is another one that I think is only available digitally as well. All right, my 5 stars, and then we're almost done. Oh my gosh, this is a long wrap up. All right, 5 stars. Yona, volume 28. I have it. Surprising no one. Yona of the Dawn, volume 28 was a 5-star read. We continue our journey with the Happy Hungry Bunch and Yona, and I just love it. I love it so much. This is my fave all time. Then I read Takani and Hana, volume 1, which I got from my library. And I loved this. So this is a bonkers setup, and this is definitely not a for everyone kind of book, but I laughed so much while I read this that it just had to get 5 stars. So this follows Takani and Hana. So Hana dresses up like her sister to go to this arranged marriage meeting. Takani realizes it's not her actually, because like the sister's 16 and her older sister's like 23. And she ends up like blowing this meeting. Like she throws her wig at him and like yells at him, and he decides to pursue her kind of, but like again, this has been very sweet. Like I think they kissed, that's it. It's nothing like, not that it's not appropriate, or not that it's appropriate, but do you know what I'm saying? Like they're not like hooking up or anything. And I believe there's a time jump later in the series, which I'm really excited for. But this is just, I honestly, oh my gosh, I could not stop laughing at this book. So yeah, we do have a big-ish age gap here, and he's like 10 years older than her, I think. And yeah, she is just like not here for his shit in any capacity, and is probably one of the only people who gives him shit back. And I think that's why it's so funny. And yeah, I'm eagerly awaiting my hold on volume 2 because I can't wait. And then last but not least is A Sign of Affection, which I read volume 1 of. I got an arc of it, and some of the later volumes are in Kindle Unlimited, but this was the sweetest book. So this follows a girl who is deaf, and she has an interaction with a foreigner on the subway, I think, and this boy helps her, and then she sees him at school, and it's just about her and him like having a friendship, and she's teaching him sign language. I can't speak on the representation in this, but I can say that like it's just been very cute so far and sweet. The mangaka in their notes like talks about how they've consulted with a bunch of people for help on the representation in the book, so that's a nice feeling. And it's just really, really cute. The boy likes to travel the world, and like they text, and he's just been like having her teach him sign language, and it's honestly adorable. So I'm really excited for volume 2 to drop, and I will read that as soon as I can, because yeah, I'm in love with the series and I need to pick it up physically, to be honest with you. That's how much I like it. So that was my reading month. If you made it this far, be sure to drop a fish emoji in the comments and give this video a thumbs up before you go. You can also find links to all the books I talked about in that description box, along with links anywhere you can find me on the internet, which are including Discord for the romance YouTube community. Creators and viewers are welcome, and a link to the Immortals After Dark read-along Discord. I will see you in just a few days with my next video. Bye, y'all.
Really asking, we'll get away to a place where we don't know.